you tired of range anxiety, but still want to slash your gas bill and drive something truly revolutionary? Stick around, because the plug-in hybrid landscape has completely shifted this year, and the #1 spot will genuinely shock you. Today we are diving deep into the world of plug-in hybrid electric vehicles to find the absolute best options currently on the market for your hard-earned money. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which plug-in hybrid deserves a spot in your driveway, and why some of the most hyped models might actually be a massive letdown. 7. BMW M5 Touring. When I first got the keys to the new BMW M5 Touring, I was practically vibrating with excitement. A high-performance wagon with a plug-in hybrid powertrain sounds like the absolute ultimate daily driver on paper, blending immense practicality with blistering track-ready speeds. The aggressive styling, the massively flared arches, and the sheer road presence of this long-roof monster make it one of the most visually arresting vehicles on the road today. Sitting in the driver's seat, you are enveloped in top-tier luxury, with carbon fiber accents and deeply bolstered seats that promise an incredible driving experience. However, once I actually took it out on my favorite twisting back roads, the reality of this complex machine started to show its cracks. The sheer weight of the battery pack and the electric motors is impossible to ignore when you are pushing into a corner. It feels incredibly heavy, and while the advanced suspension does its absolute best to mask the mass, you can feel the tires fighting a losing battle against physics. It lacks that nimble, razor-sharp agility that has always defined the M badge for me. The powertrain itself is a technological marvel, producing mind-bending horsepower numbers that will pin you to the back of your seat on a straight highway pull. But in everyday driving, I found the transition between the electric motor and the twin-turbo V8 to be occasionally clunky. When you ask for sudden power in hybrid mode, there is a distinct hesitation as the brains of the car figure out how to deliver the torque, which is incredibly frustrating when you are trying to make a quick overtake. 6. OMODA 9. From the outside, this SUV looks like it belongs in a much higher price bracket, featuring a sleek, futuristic front fascia and a very premium silhouette that turned plenty of heads during my week of testing. The manufacturer promises a high-tech luxury-adjacent experience at a fraction of the cost of the established premium brands, which is a highly appealing pitch for anyone looking to get into a plug-in hybrid on a budget. Stepping inside, you are greeted by massive, sweeping digital displays and a minimalist dashboard that looks absolutely stunning in press photos. Living with it day to day revealed some significant frustrations. The infotainment system, while visually crisp, suffered from noticeable input lag during my testing, and the over-reliance on touch-sensitive sliders for basic climate controls meant taking my eyes off the road far too often. The material quality also rapidly diminishes once you reach below the driver's eye line, with hard, scratchy plastics betraying the budget price tag. Out on the road, the plug-in hybrid system feels a generation behind the competition. When operating in pure EV mode, it's adequately quiet for city cruising, but the electric motor lacks the punch needed for confident highway merging. The real issue arises when the battery depletes and the gas engine is forced to wake up. The transition is jarring, sending an unrefined shudder through the cabin, and under heavy acceleration, the engine sounds strained and raspy. The suspension tuning also left me wanting much more during my daily commute. It is set up to be soft and compliant, which is fine for perfectly smooth highways, but hit a mid-corner bump or a rough patch of city pavement, and the OMODA 9 becomes unsettled and bouncy. 5. BMW 5 Series. Unlike the high-strung M5, this executive sedan knows exactly what it wants to be, and it executes that mission with incredible grace. From the moment I slid into the phenomenally comfortable driver's seat, I knew this was a machine designed for eating up miles in supreme serenity. The interior is a masterpiece of modern design, blending traditional luxury materials with perfectly integrated technology. When I took the 5 Series out for my standard test loop, the hybrid system immediately impressed me with its buttery smoothness. In electric-only mode, the car glides silently through city streets, providing more than enough torque to keep up with traffic without ever feeling sluggish. The electric range is highly respectable, allowing me to complete my entire round-trip commute to the studio without burning a single drop of fuel, which is exactly what a good PHEV should do. When you do need to lean on the internal combustion engine for longer highway journeys, it wakes up seamlessly. BMW has mastered the acoustic insulation in this cabin, meaning the engine remains a distant hum rather than an intrusive roar. The power delivery is linear and robust, giving you that classic, effortless German passing power on the highway. Despite carrying the extra weight of the battery pack, the 5 Series retains an impressive amount of dynamic competence. The steering is beautifully weighted and precise, allowing you to place this large sedan exactly where you want it on a winding road. It doesn't pretend to be a sports car, but it never feels clumsy or wallowy, striking a magnificent balance between ride comfort and body control. This car earns its spot at number 5 by being an absolutely rock-solid, incredibly refined daily driver. 4. 2026 RX Plug-in Hybrid. If there is one brand you can trust to absolutely nail a hybrid powertrain, it is the parent company of Lexus, and they have poured decades of expertise into this premium SUV. Visually, it retains that sharp, distinctive Lexus styling, but it's under the skin where this vehicle truly shines. Getting behind the wheel feels like retreating into a rolling sanctuary, isolated from the noise and stress of the outside world. During my testing, the ride quality of the RX PHEV was nothing short of a revelation. It effortlessly glides over broken pavement, potholes, and expansion joints as if they don't even exist. The suspension tuning is purely focused on passenger comfort, and the cabin is so heavily insulated that you can have a whispered conversation at highway speeds. It is the ultimate antidote to a stressful day at work. The plug-in hybrid system operates with a level of refinement that almost defies belief. The handoff between the electric motors and the gasoline engine is virtually imperceptible. I actually had to look at the energy flow diagram on the infotainment screen just to know which power source was driving the wheels. The electric range is more than generous for daily suburban duties, and the combined fuel economy when the battery is depleted remains incredibly impressive. Inside, the craftsmanship is exactly what you would expect from Lexus. Every surface you touch is covered in soft, premium materials, and the build quality feels like it was carved from a single, solid block of granite. The new infotainment system is a massive leap forward from previous generations, offering a massive, crisp touchscreen that is highly responsive and finally intuitive to use. The only reason the RX doesn't place higher on this list is simply that it prioritizes comfort so heavily that it completely ignores driving engagement. 3. Volkswagen Golf Plug-in Hybrid. Sometimes the best vehicles aren't massive luxury barges or high-performance monsters. They are the brilliant everyday heroes that do everything right. The Golf PHEV takes the legendary practicality and understated charm of the standard Golf and injects it with an incredibly clever electrified powertrain. What struck me immediately during my test week was just how peppy and fun this car is to drive. The electric motor provides a fantastic punch of low-end torque, making the Golf feel incredibly lively when darting through city traffic. When you put your foot down, the combined output of the electric motor and the turbocharged gas engine makes this little hatchback genuinely quick, putting a massive smile on my face every time I found an open stretch of road. Practicality is where the Golf continues to shine. Despite housing a battery pack, it still offers an incredibly usable cargo area, and the upright greenhouse means visibility is fantastic in all directions. It is incredibly easy to park, effortless to maneuver in tight spaces, and surprisingly spacious for passengers in the rear seats. It fits perfectly into almost any lifestyle without demanding any compromises. The efficiency numbers I achieved during testing were stellar. I was easily able to handle my daily driving purely on electric power, plugging it in at night like a smartphone. Even on a longer weekend road trip, the gas engine proved to be highly efficient, making it a fantastic companion for both the daily grind and longer adventures. The transition between power modes is smooth, and the regenerative braking feels natural and easy to modulate. This car hits the absolute sweet spot of price, performance, and everyday usability. It doesn't have the badge snobbery of the luxury brands, but it offers a driving experience that is engaging, highly efficient, and wonderfully unpretentious. 2. Toyota Prius Prime. Just missing the top spot is the vehicle that arguably started the entire hybrid revolution. but it has recently undergone the glow-up of the century. The Toyota Prius Prime takes the silver medal. Let's be honest, previous generations of the Prius were bought purely for their fuel economy, often at the expense of aesthetics and driving joy. But this new generation? It looks like a spaceship in the best way possible. The sleek aerodynamic wedge shape turns heads everywhere it goes, and I found myself actually looking back to admire it every time I walked away. But the beauty isn't just skin deep. The efficiency of the Prius Prime is genuinely mind-blowing. During my week of intense testing, combining city gridlock, highway cruising, and some spirited backroad driving, the fuel gauge barely moved. The electric-only range has been significantly bumped up, allowing you to go days or even weeks without using a drop of gasoline if you have a short commute and access to a charger. The biggest shock, however, is the performance upgrade. The Prius Prime is actually quick now. With the combined output of the heavily revised powertrain, merging onto the highway is no longer a stressful, foot-to-the-floor endeavor. It surges forward with a wave of electric torque, and the chassis is surprisingly composed and planted when you hustle it through a corner. It has transformed from a dreary eco-box into a genuinely enjoyable car to pilot. The interior has also been thoroughly modernized, ditching the weird center-mounted gauges for a much more driver-focused layout. The seats are comfortable, the tech is easy to use, and the cabin feels airy and modern. Toyota has also vastly improved the cabin insulation, making it a much quieter place to spend time compared to the older models. 1. BMW X5. After testing every vehicle on this list, getting into the X5 felt like reaching the absolute pinnacle of what this technology can achieve right now. It is a masterclass in automotive engineering, blending the brutal power of a sports car, the efficiency of an EV, and the luxurious practicality of a family hauler into one flawless package. The electric range on this massive SUV is nothing short of incredible. I was absolutely blown away by the fact that I could do school runs, grocery trips, and my entire commute on pure electricity, dragging this large luxury vehicle around with zero emissions and zero engine noise. The electric motor is potent enough to handle all normal driving duties without ever needing to wake up the gas engine, making it feel like a true EV during the week. But when the weekend arrives and you want to go on a long road trip or you just want to have some fun, the X5 unveils its party piece, the legendary B58 inline-6 turbocharged engine. When the gas engine and the electric motor join forces, the acceleration is downright violent. It launches this heavy SUV forward with a ferocity that will leave many sports cars in the dust. The sound of that inline-6 is glorious, and the power delivery is relentlessly smooth. Inside, the X5 is a sanctuary of premium luxury. The materials are exquisite, the seats are infinitely adjustable and supremely comfortable, and there is massive space for both passengers and cargo. The air suspension provides a ride quality that floats over imperfections, while simultaneously keeping the body perfectly flat when you decide to attack a corner,